Hey, everybody, welcome and welcome back. Rebecca and I'm Mari-Lyn, by the way, I haven't been on in a while, are here to do a reaction for you. And I just want to share something with you all. Before we started recording, I was opening space and I welcomed in the energy of the moon. And Rebecca was just telling me that there was an owl just outside that started hooting as I was welcoming in the energy of the moon. And I thought that was fabulous. Felt so good. Crazy, crazy stuff that you can't make up.
No.
So we're going to jump right in. This is, I don't know if it's going to be a short one or a longer one, but we are doing scariest stories from Reddit. And this was requested by Courtney. So thank you, Courtney. And it's Heart Starts Pounding. So we're just going to jump in. Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
And they wrote, not a story, but a personal experience. I had a friend when I was little, probably age 7 to 10, given how well I remember her. She was older than I was, and she had long brown hair. She always wore the same thing, black jeans and a red polo shirt. She would just show up and play with me. Usually we would play Barbies. We would play together for hours, and then she would tell me she would have to go, and she would leave. One night, when I was 10, I woke up and one of my Barbie dolls was standing on my dresser, and her little purple plastic brush was going down through her hair. I couldn't see anyone holding it, but somehow I just knew that it was my friend. I sat up in bed and I sternly told her that I didn't like what she was doing and that she was scaring me. The brush stopped, the Barbie laid down, and then all was quiet. I laid back down and I went back to sleep.
What do you have to say to that so far?
Well, she's definitely not a real person,
Not a living person.
not a living person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Earthbound spirit?
I wasn't getting Earthbound Spirit.
Oh, what were you getting?
I was getting like imaginary friend.
So completely made up.
Yeah. Because I almost wanted to say, like I don't know what this is like at all, but I got like schizophrenic and like that popped into my head as if she
Oh,
was having like I don't know, an illusion, or that's not the right word. A hallucination
a
where
hallucination? Interesting.
she thought that this was actually happening, but it doesn't feel like
Interesting.
it actually was happening.
Okay.
What were you getting?
Nothing definitive, but it wasn't a child, even though it was presenting as a child. That
Oh,
that I'm
okay.
that I'm certain of. It was not an earthbound child.
Mm,
um, let's hear what else they have to say. Yeah?
okay.
I never saw my friend again after that. I spoke to my parents about it a few years later, and while my mom was incredulous, my father confirmed that he had seen her too, but they both told me without question that she was not a real person. Fast forward approximately 10 years, I'm moving out of my childhood home. I had already been gone for a couple of years, but hadn't actually moved any of my things out. The day after I had mostly cleared out my room, my dad called me and said, I have kind of a weird request for you. Could you come by and tell your friend that you're all right? I was taking a shower and I saw her walk through the bathroom. Then your bedroom door opened. I called to her, but I don't think she listens to me. So I did just that. I went home, I went to my old bedroom, and I swear I could smell her there. My room smelled like incense, despite none ever being lit in there. I sat down in the middle of the floor and just talked for a while. I told her I wasn't sure if she could hear me, that everything was okay, and that I had moved out into a nice apartment near my new job. I told her about my new job. I told her how old I was, just in case she never knew. I thanked her for being my friend, and I told her I was sorry about how our friendship ended, that I never forgot her, and I found some comfort knowing she was still here. I told her that my parents were moving soon, so I probably wouldn't be back to this house ever. And I said that I didn't want her to be lonely, so I hoped if she ever wanted to move on, she could. Then I stood up, I turned off my light, and I said goodbye. I shut the door. I headed down the hall to tell my dad that I had done what he had asked. And then my bedroom door clicked back open, and I heard a very clear, "See ya." I turned around to look, but decided to leave the door open, and I just waved. I'm 36 years old now, and I had my daughter last year. One night early in the newborn trenches, I was operating on almost zero sleep and rocking the baby quietly in the dark when I got the urge to talk to her. I introduced my baby out loud, and I talked about my birth experience. I told her how old I was now and how I was told I couldn't have children, but here we are. And I swear I heard her laugh, sigh, and then whisper like she was trying not to wake up my baby. Beautiful. I haven't spoken to her since, but I still think about her.
That one's weird.
Well, what if I were to say that her hallucination was just another part of herself? That she had some, I mean, from, stories that I have heard over the decades of my life, children who have played with ghosts or have imaginary friends are children who spend an extraordinary amount of time alone and have extraordinary amounts of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So, was this an extension of herself? Like,
Yeah.
this is very similar to a soul piece, very similar to like a multiple personality, but it came to be in energetic form.
Is it anything like a poltergeist where you accidentally make an energy form with your own energy? Like, is it anything, or at least I
Um,
hope I'm thinking of that right.
I'm going to say yes and no,
Mm-hmm.
because the information I'm getting is a poltergeist is so unorganized and the energy is very uncontained. This energy is extremely contained. It's so contained that it takes on the form of, I'm going to say, the perfect child.
Oh,
The
okay.
perfect child that dad is aware of.
So she unknowingly created this energy form with her own energy of the perfect child.
I think so.
That was then her
Like her
friend.
all, yeah.
Mm.
So where you called it a hallucination and it wasn't really happening, well, a matter of perspective, maybe.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't really happening. There was no one else there. And yet, sorry, because she took that energy out and, this is not going to make any sense. By taking that energy and forming another person, did that save her from having the mental illness of multiple personality disorder all within her head? I don't know. I don't know anything about those disorders. Um, but the visual that I'm getting is quite bizarre.
Yeah. Definitely a neurodivergent child, though. Like the average kid, I don't think could do that. Like she obviously had some, I don't know if ability is the right word to do that, but
Yeah, I don't know that ability would be the right word either. Huh. Very interesting.
mm.
Huh.
But it had to be powerful enough for her to, because did it manifest strongly enough to pick up that Barbie doll and brush the Barbie's hair? Or was that a, I don't know,
A
hallucination
hallucination.
or,
Or was that a
yeah,
hallucination? Yeah.
yeah.
I would have to say, I don't know. I don't know.
Because you think like Earthies don't even have, unless they're powerful Earthies, they don't have the ability to physically manipulate objects like that, right?
Um, well, they can grow to that strength.
Mm-hmm.
I was around 11 or 12. I used to share a bedroom with my sister, who was around 9. One night, some sound woke me up, and I sat up and saw a human-shaped thing sitting on the padded storage bench at the end of our room. I thought it was my sister at first, so I called her name a couple of times. She wasn't in bed. I started to freak out as it was looking in my direction, but had a black space where the face was supposed to be. The rest of the body was white, but it was solid as a person and moving its arms, but there was no sound. It felt like about 2 to 3 minutes staring at it, and then I had this overwhelming feeling of exhaustion come over me, and I fell back to sleep. I woke up the next morning, slumped over in bed, but in the same sitting position, and I realized I had wet the bed. This has not happened to me since I was 3. Sister was still gone. I ran to my parents' room, and my sister was in their bed, and they said she had come running into their room, scared, in the middle of the night, saying a ghost was in her room. She described the exact same thing as me. We're now in our late 40s, but still remember it as clear as if it happened last night. Legit the most terrified I've ever been to this day.
Like how she just left her sister in there with the ghost. That's crazy. Save yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I get absolutely. Yes.
That's scary.
Some
Oh.
just random dude stumbled upon them. I don't know. Anything
You're talking about from the comment story.
from this? Yeah, that yeah.
I mean, I get that. Yeah, it was a earthbound spirit.
So I shared a room with my sister. I could imagine. I wouldn't think of her. I mean, she was older. I was the youngest. I could see her getting scared and leaving me in the room. Absolutely. I could see me getting up and leaving the room and not thinking about her. Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what I would do in that situation. I would probably I'd run over to my sister's bed and like get into her bed if I saw it go. Or try to like
Yeah, I
wake
know
her
that
up.
I wouldn't have done that.
Mm.
No. Uh-uh. What would I have done if I'd have I don't know. I don't know if I'd have been scared. I'm sure I would have been terrified.
If it was just a black face, and like however they described it, just moving. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because
Hard
my
to
only experiences have been sleep paralysis
mm.
in those situations. And those I was always an adult and I couldn't move, so couldn't
Mhm.
have done anything anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had sleep paralysis. Mm-mm.
it's good. It's scary. Well, I guess you probably, I don't know that you would be afraid now. I don't know that I would be afraid either, knowing what we know. But this was before, I think, or I think I had just started lessons with you
Mm.
when
And
I had it
you know,
last.
sometimes sleep paralysis is simply we've spiritually left our body and we're off doing spirit stuff.
Yeah.
And our body wakes up, but there's nothing inside.
Hmm.
There's no energetic part of us in there to make things move.
But then there's the instances where you like see something in your room or you like see something next to you. Or like there was an instance where I felt like I was slowly being like pulled off the bed. And that freaked me out. But I think we figured out it was like me. It was like an internal thing.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But there's stuff like that where people will see like a shadow person in their room during sleep paralysis. And it makes me wonder what that is.
There's there's no one definitive explanation for sleep paralysis.
I think people call it the sleep paralysis demon
Probably.
because they see
It's not
dark
a
figure.
demon. It's not a
Yeah.
demon.
Yeah. Chances are not.
Not no. But there are multiple reasons, multiple things that will cause sleep paralysis, and some of it is just simple fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see something, but it's not the paranormal thing that's creating the paralysis.
Mm.
It's the fear that you fear. The fear that you feel is creating the paralysis.
Mm.
And why do they call it sleep paralysis anyway? Because you're not asleep.
I guess because you can't move, you can just open your eyes and that's it during those. Oh, yes, I don't know. I guess because it happens during sleep.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, kind of got off topic.
Yeah.
If you have sleep paralysis and you want to share your story, why not?
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about us and what we offer, we're at tcseverydaypsychics.com. Anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Expect the unexpected when it comes to the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Things are never as they seem.
Never as they seem. Never.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.